Hi, this is Dallin Stringham, and just going over the Speed of Trust chapters, behaviors 2 through 4. It was a great chapter, honestly. I loved the transparency and the righting the wrongs, and those were some just great ideals. But the one I wanted to focus on today was the transparency aspect. And I really like the story of the union contract from the start of the chapter, where there was a union and they were like, okay, to not go bankrupt, we need to seriously like cut our costs. And they negotiated with the union. They were like, okay, and the union trusted them. They're like, okay, sounds good. Like, we understand this. We'll cut $1.8 million worth of wages and benefits, which is a lot. And then turns out, end of year happens, the financial reports are released, and turns out there were giant bonus packages and benefits whether the company went bankrupt or not for the top 45 executives and the C-level execs. And so I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And trust would definitely be broken in that scenario. And so that really goes into like, okay, were they being transparent? No, not at all. And that reminded me of a story that just happened this week and recently. So I was working on a repair for a customer, and I had to get an estimate for it. And they had a very old, very beautiful necklace that they brought in that was gold. I work in jewelry, by the way. And they brought it in for repair, and it was in pretty bad shape. And it came out that it was about $3,500 to $4,000 to get this fixed. And so, which is a lot of money, like, especially for a repair. And so, like, I called them, and they're like, okay, well, like why? That seems like a lot of money. And so I was able to talk to them and go into them in detail and be like, okay, so this is why. I was like, there's two factors. There's going to be the gold costs, and there's going to be the labor costs. And it's a very big project. It's going to take a couple days to get this done. And then you have to add gold to this, and this parts. And I went through her with each of it. And so she was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for going over that with me. And so being able to spend that time with someone and not try and just brush them off because it's annoying to explain or takes time, like being willing to sit down with someone to be like, so this is why X, Y, and Z, it makes a huge difference. And now they can be like, okay, they're transparent about their pricing. I understand. Whether she goes with us or not, or decides to do it, it's totally up to her. But at least she can say, okay, they're honest with me. They're not just trying to charge me a bunch of money for nothing. And so it was a really neat opportunity to experience that. But yeah, it was a great chapter. Love the transparency, and I really think that's a huge part in any small, large company, especially in sales. And that is a great way to build trust. But great reading as always, and thanks so much.